Hey Bulldogs! So for this DIY, you are supposed to roll the digital dice to determine a moon phase. Once you determine that moon phase, then you're going to put it right here in this second column. You're going to draw the picture and then you're going to put the name. Once you have that rolled dice named and drawn, then you're going to determine the position of it. Where is it going to be located around Earth as it relates to the Earth and the Sun? And then you're going to look at what phase would come before it and what phase would come after it. Things to keep in mind is that for the phase before and phase after, you have to pay attention to the time frame. Because in the first example, it's just the previous phase and the next phase. But in other examples, it's going to be a week, 3 to 4 days, a month, 2 weeks. So you need to pay attention to that. So let's take a look at some examples. These might not be the exact ones that you rolled, but it'll at least give you an idea of how to check it, okay? So for my first roll, I rolled a third quarter moon. So I typed it out here, and then I drew it out, and for a third quarter, remember the lit up part is going to be on the left. For the position, it's going to be right here down below Earth because the sun is on the right side. So when you're determining the position, you always start with the new moon would be directly between the Earth and the sun, and then the moon is going to revolve counterclockwise. So if it's the third quarter, then I would go 3/4 of the way around Earth, and that's where the position of the moon would be. The phase before a third quarter would be a waning gibbous. So I would draw my picture here having the lit up part on the left. And then the phase after would be a waning crescent. So I have my skinny shape over here again with the light on the left. When I gave my next roll, I came out with a full moon. So because it's the full moon, I left it all blank. And then the position, the full moon is going to be on the far side of Earth where the moon, the Earth, and the sun are all lined up. Now the before phase says 1 week before. And in 1 week, there's going to be 2 phases that pass. So if I'm looking at 1 week before, I can come to my graphic over here and I can look at the full moon and I can go 1 phase back, 2 phases back. So 1 week before the full moon is going to be the first quarter. So I put my first quarter phase over here with the lit up part on the right. The phase after, we're looking for 3 to 4 days after the full moon. So again, if we go to our diagram, after the full moon, 3 to 4 days later is only going to be 1 phase. So my next phase is going to be a waning gibbous. So on a waning gibbous, the lit up part is going to be on the left. My third example, I rolled a waxing crescent. So it's going to be the skinny slim shape and the light's going to be on the right. And for a waxing crescent, it's going to be 1 position after the new moon. And remember, the new moon is always going to be between the Earth and the sun. So that would be my position of a waxing crescent. The phase before a waxing crescent, 3 to 4 days before, remember 3 to 4 days is only 1 phase. So that's going to be my new moon. And then my phase after, we're looking for 7 days. So 7 days is going to be 2 phases. So after a waxing crescent, after a waxing crescent, my next phase would be first quarter. Next phase would be waxing gibbous. So 1 week after a waxing crescent, I'm going to have a waxing gibbous. So the waxing gibbous is going to have the lit up part on the right. So as you continue to check yours, some of them might be the same as what I have on here. Some of them might be different. Just the most important thing here is to look at how many days before, how many days after, and are they in the correct positions. So you can use this diagram on frame 2 to help you determine if you did the phase correctly, and it'll help you count the phases to figure out if you got the timing correct. Okay? If you still need help or if you're not sure about some of your answers, share your Jamboard with your teacher, send them a message, and they would be happy to help. See you later, Bulldogs.